I've had quite a lot of people on my YouTube channel ask me about taking delivery of the Jaecoo 5 BEV and what to check for. So this is just a quick video just to go through what you should really be checking for on delivery of the car. So if we go through just the things that have been highlighted over the last few months that you need to check for on delivery. Some are going to be guaranteed items for delivery, some aren't. It depends if you're leasing, buying, etc., and who's supplying the car. But ultimately, you've got to check, if you've got a Jaecoo 5 electric BEV, that you've got 2 front electric seats. So there was a batch of J5 Luxuries that were coming with only the driver's side seat being fully electric, and then the passenger side was manual. But obviously it states that both are supposed to be electric. So initially you need to confirm that you've got 2 front electric seats in a Jaecoo 5 BEV. Secondly, there was quite a large batch, which obviously is hopefully getting better now, but there was a large batch of Jaecoo 5 BEVs that were being delivered without a rear parcel shelf. So ensure that you've got a rear parcel shelf. Thirdly, on the roof bars, there was another batch of cars that were being delivered without the bungs in the metal railings. Depending on what height you are, you've got to stand up tall to see that, but the actual railings, if they are missing the bungs that go in there, then obviously highlight that one. Right, next, in with the car, there's obviously no spare wheel, but you should have a can of spray foam to fix a puncture. There's no spare wheel, there's no tyre lever, there's no jack. It's just literally a spray can, but you should have a spray can of foam to spray into the tire should you have a flat tire to get you out of a situation. So check for that. Then in terms of the charging cable, you should have a standard tethered charging cable come with the vehicle. I have seen numerous initial videos where they showed that the car under the bonnet, when they were showing the frunk area where the cable for charging is stored, there was also a granny charger visible, but they do not supply a granny charger with the Jaecoo 5 BEV by default. So you'll just have the standard tethered cable that you should be getting. Obviously ensure you've got that. Now, on to the next things. Locking wheel nuts. Again, I have seen this as a non-standard thing, but then a lot of people are getting locking wheel nuts included in a Jaecoo box. And then some other people have been told, no, locking wheel nuts aren't included. Well, I would certainly push for locking wheel nuts if you've got the J5 Luxury. Mine certainly came with locking wheel nuts. So again, keep your eye out for that. And then finally, car mats are optional. So don't expect car mats, but if you're leasing the car, or some garages, they may include car mats, but these are not guaranteed included items. And things to check also on the day of delivery, which are going to be worth checking, and certainly I wish I'd checked when I took delivery of mine, are anything that moves. So basically, check your seats move, check that your windows all open, especially check your boot, because obviously my boot broke after 3 days. It was opened less than 10 times. If I'd have just opened and closed the boot more, probably on the day of delivery, just to analyse that it was opening and closing correctly, it would have probably highlighted that it wasn't working correctly. It probably would have even broke that first day, and it would have just probably got me another step ahead, because the guy who delivered it would probably have fed back that the boot was broken at that point. So yeah, anything that's got a motor. So check the windows, check the seats, check the boot opens, check the car flap for the charging point opens, and just open and close them a few times and just make sure that you're happy that everything's working as it should. And for the radio, as far as I'm aware at present, there still isn't a fix for the reception. So again, it's probably worth you turning on your radio, tuning it into a DAB station, and just making sure that it's actually working through all your speakers, and it's not breaking up the signal. I mean, I don't live in the middle of nowhere, but the reception around where I live is terrible. Once I get nearer a city and stuff, the reception does pick up. I get better reception, but I'm hoping that there's still going to be a fix. But obviously, if you test your car when you take delivery and that you find also that the radio reception is quite poor, then again, you can highlight it, and if there is a fix by the time you're watching this video, then hopefully that can be remedied as well. Externally, obviously, make sure that the alloys have got no scuffs on them. So, give each tyre and wheel a visual check, make sure that there's no scuffs, especially on the alloys. And then it's also been noted that on the rear of the cars, for some deliveries, more on the metallic colours than the white and black, but especially on the green and the blue, that there's been quite a lot of reports of people receiving the car and there's subtle differences in the colour between the panels. So again, it's worth highlighting and checking that you've got a car that's been sprayed with the same paint colours. And for items that you're not going to get, that users expect to get, I've seen a lot of users report that they're missing the torch from the boot. So they're saying, what is this slot here for? Should there be something there? Am I missing an item? Well, if you haven't specified the optional £125 torch that you can get that fits in that socket in the boot on the driver's side, then you will just receive the socket with no torch. To me, £125 for a torch is a bit of an ask, really. I can't really justify that. So I certainly haven't got it, but some people may have ticked that box and ordered the torch. But as a rule, you'll probably just have the space there for the torch to be fitted. And then another thing that people expect to be present but isn't are the LED strip lights, so the ambient light that's built into the car. So yes, you can change the colours of the strip lights, but they only go across the dash and that along the driver's and passenger's side doors. Don't expect the strip lights to work in the back. The rear doors do have the strip light, but they only illuminate when you're parked up. If something should be coming, so if you were on the driver's side in the rear, for example, and you're about to get out the door, the LED strip would flash like a bright orange colour to warn you that there's something coming, approaching out of your vision's eye, so from behind. And again, the same on the passenger side. If you were to park up next to a pavement and there is a pedestrian or something walking very close to the door, it does illuminate the LED orange. So I've seen numerous people say, my ambient light isn't working in the rear of the car. Don't expect it to work in the rear. It's purely there as an alert in the rear should there be an obstacle approaching as you're trying to get out of the vehicle when it's parked up. The only other thing that's outstanding for me is the trip computer. So on my trip computer in this vehicle, it basically records, even though it's set to miles, it records the trip in kilometres. And still, as of June 2026, for myself, I haven't been able to get a firmware update for that yet. So as far as I'm aware, there is no firmware update for that fix yet available to UK car owners. But again, it's not the end of the world. And I think that's it really. Hopefully that helps some people who are just about to take delivery of their Jaecoo 5 and just helps them be aware of what they need to check for on delivery and taking ownership of the car. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe if you found this helpful. It really helps this channel out, and we'll catch you really soon for some more Jaecoo videos and some other videos out and about, enjoying walks, etc. in the countryside. So please take care and have a good day. Cheers. Bye.